Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Guthix Rest, episode number 10. Can't believe we're already at number 10. I am a guy named Sparre, and I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Birdfacts. Me.
And today, it's just the two of us. We're not doing another guest episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully for a little
Finally,
bit.
dude.
I love doing
I
guest
hate
episodes.
guests.
They're fun. But, they're so much more effort to edit. And they always go pretty long.
Yes. Because, I mean, there's just a lot to talk about, you know?
Yeah, like, we
boys.
easily could have gone for 6 hours on the Life episode and with Michael. Like, if Michael didn't have work in the morning, I'm sure he would have stuck around for another, hour.
Even before he had put in the Discord chat that he had work in the morning, I was already, sharking for my opportunity to, say, hey, we should wrap up. But I was waiting for it to, come naturally, somewhat.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm keeping it in the editing or not, because a little behind the scenes, I'm behind on editing a little. I'm, half an hour to an hour into editing the episode, and it was supposed to go out 24 hours ago, so, you know.
Hey, well, as we discussed earlier, it's not as behind as editing as I am.
Yeah, but I don't know if I kept in or not me continually trying to pipe in and say, hey, maybe we should end the episode until I finally do say that at some point. But, yeah, welcome everybody. We have actually had a game update this week.
Finally.
Which, it's
nothing crazy.
It was surprising.
Unless you count the beta, because, the actual game update part of the game update isn't anything exciting. But the beta's cool.
Some stuff I think that's worth talking about.
Yeah. It's nothing, like I said, though, it's nothing, insane.
Yeah. It's a lot of, bounty hunter stuff, which, fair. It's a pretty popular update, especially with the PvP community.
Yeah. Seems to be doing well, so.
And they had to tweak it to, make sure it's well-balanced and people are having a good time. And they're adding, new features and stuff, too, so.
Reminds me of how they were someday in the future, we might add some new features to Mahogany Homes. They never did.
Or how they said that they might add new invocations to Toa.
They never did.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But that's all, just second segment talk. How have you been this week? This couple days since we recorded with Michael. But we didn't really talk about our week then, so now we get an opportunity, just the two of us, to talk about it.
Just kind of hopped straight into the discussion, which was, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really good.
I've actually done a fair bit since the last time that we actually talked about ourselves narcissistically, as we do. The farthest back one I have on my notes here is back when I was doing Zammy. I got the Imp Champion scroll because, of course, I did.
Hey, nice.
It was.
Do you have a scroll already?
No,
on
that was my first one. So that allowed me to immediately go get Music Cape because I already had everything else.
Nice! I didn't know you already had a mimic.
Yep, I have 3 actually. I think so.
Oh yeah,
chilling. Yeah, it was funny
being a requirement for Quest Cave now. That's not really something people wait to do for Music Cape, so
yeah. It was funny. I was killing imps. The last one I'd kill, I had hop worlds immediately before it even finished dying, and I thought to myself, I was like, oh, maybe I should stop doing that in case they drop Champion Scroll. Literally, as I was thinking that, I got the Champion Scroll drop. And I was like, no shot, dude. No way that just happened.
Amazing.
That's
so funny.
Strange. And interestingly, I still hopped worlds as it happened. Because I had timed it the drop just happened, I'll hop. And I saw the collection log slot start popping up. So there isn't... RuneLite didn't automatically take a screenshot of the collection log one. Because the thing didn't finish popping up.
Interesting.
Because it takes a screenshot when the collection log notification is fully popped up. And also, because it's an untradeable item, the item hopped to the world that I was on.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say, at least you can hop back and get it, but
yeah, no, because of the new item.
I forgot that's
stuff.
a thing.
Yeah, untradeable items hop with you.
It's so weird. Like, I don't remember what I was doing, but I hopped worlds and my like untradables followed me. I think I was like a death pilot or something, and they followed me, and I was just like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I remember my first experience with it is I dropped the clue scroll and then logged off. And when I logged in like 2 days later, the clue scroll was still there. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, because now they're timed with your login timer rather than the world timer.
Definitely a good feature. But the first time I saw it, I was like, what's going on? Why is there a clue scroll here? Oh, right. I dropped it.
Yeah, it's pretty wacky. But that's cool that you got the imp scroll.
Yeah, Music Cape is nice. I proceeded to get a fallow step not long after that. So I was like, yes! Teleported to fallow.
Hell yeah, such a nice teleport.
Awesome. Love that. Then I proceeded to actually do my Zammy task. I learned how to do the altar door method. Absolutely free. I mean, it's not free. It took me some time to learn. But once you get it down, really good method of killing the Zamorak in general in the God Wars dungeon. Love it.
I had unblocked Zammy as a task, and I was like, cool, I'll do some Zammy, it'll be fine. And then I did like a solo, and I didn't really like it. And then I did a duo, and I didn't really like it. And then I looked at the money you get there, and I'm like, oh wow, this sucks. With Fang being a thing, and there's no real reason to get like a Toxic Staff of the Dead.
There's no reason to get a ZGS beyond clues.
Yeah, and there's no reason for a ZGS beyond clues.
Or
all
like
all of his items are just... Yeah, they're just in the bin. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I just blocked the task again.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, I got it this morning when I was doing a little bit of Slayer.
Yeah, I'd love to grab a Z-Spear for the eventual Dragon Hunter Lance. And, the Z-Hosta would be nice for a little bit, I'd imagine, but...
Yeah, before you get Fang.
Yeah, it won't be relevant for long. But
I'm looking forward to the day we can raid together again.
Having it for the Dragon Hunter Lance is definitely worth it. But no, instead I got a Steam Battle Staff, which is the same drop rate as the Z-Spear. So that's cool.
Oh, dude.
And then also I got a Staff of the Dead, which is the same drop rate as a Zamorak hilt. So
that's very unfortunate.
Realistically, pretty spooned on that. 80 KC in total. But neither of those items are useful at all.
Now you can cast Bake Pie with only fire, or with only astral runes.
Oh, so true. Didn't even think of that. It's not like I could do that already with a Staff of Fire and my Tome of Water.
Yeah. Or
Lava Staff.
A Book of Fire and a Water Staff.
Yeah, I don't have Tome of Fire though, so.
Yeah. Well, time to go send some Wintertod then.
Yeah, it's something I've been actually intending to do. I want to do...
Let's go.
I want to do Shades of Morton to get the Zealot set. I think I've talked about this in the past. People say it isn't worth it. I don't really care. I just want to have it for collection log slots because I like getting collection log slots. And I know I'm going to do it eventually, so I might as well have it while I'm training prayer because I know I'm going to get it eventually anyways. So I do need to go train to 95. And then I'll need to train to 90 woodcutting so I can get redwood logs. But with forestry coming up, I'm not training woodcutting right now. I'm going to train it when it theoretically gets better.
I'm a little upset that I got 99 not ring crafting. I'm a little upset that I got 99 woodcutting just before they announced forestry as a thing. So, I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass about it, but
hey, well,
I think the only difference is I would have gotten...
You get like 5 minutes guaranteed AFK time.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's different. Redwoods don't benefit any other way from forestry, though. They're excluded
unless you
from
count
it.
Two-handed axes, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know that that's a huge buff either.
No, not really.
But
I'm so yawny today. I don't know why.
Sucks. Anyways, finished that. Then I proceeded to decide that I wanted to complete some diaries. So I went on a stew boosting tirade. I +5 stew boosted wood cutting to cut a redwood log.
What the fuck?
I was like, I'm just gonna do one inventory of these stews and just see if I get it. I got it like the second stew, and I was like, cool. It was something that, I mean, it's a +1 prayer bonus, right? If I finish that diary. So like, I figured, I'll give it a shot. It was the last requirement I needed because I got to 90
Kren
Slayer.
and Kevos diary?
Yeah.
That's a nice one to have.
Yeah, I figured, I don't really want to train woodcutting that badly, and I'm at 85. I could just try and +5 boost, and I got it pretty quick, so I was like, cool. That's epic.
Yeah, that diary is kind of cracked in the rewarded
it's got all the good
reward
stuff.
section. You get like the Ash Sanctifier gives you full prayer XP.
That one's very
which
nice.
is huge. That's like an actual prayer method for Iron Men to go like burst
my Abbey Demons and Necreal's tasks are getting kind of pop off now. It's nice.
Yeah, I was doing one this morning and I was just like, oh, this XP is so nice. And then you get like the Rada's Blessing, which is super nice.
The unlimited teleports
Konar gives you more Slayer
nice.
points.
Oh yes, Slayer points from Konar is nice.
And then the Chrome Slayer dungeon, you don't need the fucking Boots of Stone anymore. And not really super relevant anymore, but used to get more blood runes.
Yeah,
from the Blood Altar.
I mean, some people still like to do the AFK method there, and I can see myself doing that as like I've run out of AFK skills to AFK. I guess I'll just farm blood runes since I'm an Iron Man.
Yeah,
but that's no time soon.
I keep thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't need to do rune crafting anymore. I finished Guardians of the Rift, and it's like, no, I still have half the skill and XP to do. Like, I'm done with the items I need from the minigame, but I'll probably have to go back at some point.
Yeah, I think I was talking with Malachi and other friends. We're going to go do Guardians of the Rift soon here, because his dumb iron ass is like completely out of runes, and I still need to get, well, I don't need to get, but I want to get the Guardian Eye so I can make my runecraft pet look special. Man, just gonna side tangent real quick on that one. Why doesn't it use it? Why is that -1 bank slot?
Wait, what do you mean it doesn't use it?
If you use the Guardian's Eye on the pet, it just changes him to look like that, and you get to keep the item.
Oh. Can you destroy it or something?
Maybe, I don't know, but it's not a permanent. It's not a permanent unlock. If you ever have him change to look like one of the other ones, you have to use the eye on him to make him change back.
Oh, that's so annoying.
It's so dumb. Like, why not just make it so he has a dialogue option where you can just be like, hey, can you look like the special Guardian? And he'll just be like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, like, what the fuck?
It's so dumb. I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I then proceeded to smithing boost. I think I only needed I needed a +4 to finish both Wildy and Varrock Elite Diaries. So I got that funny tier 4 sword and that funny tier 4 chest piece now.
Hell yeah. Those are pretty nice to have.
Yeah.
The perks from both those diaries are kind of cracked, so. Yeah,
it's nice.
How far are you from Diary Cape now?
Still like kind of far. I have it written down somewhere. I need to get to 93 Slayer. I know that one because I need to kill Thermi. I need 85 Prayer.
Western Diary?
Second?
Is that for Western Diary?
Yeah, it's for Western, I'm pretty sure. I need the 91 Fishing for Mauritania. Desert, I need 90 whatever the heck for Thieving. And then 85 Prayer. And then Kandarin, I need Chewed Bones. That's it.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing there is having to get the fishing levels, because that's just kind of slow.
Yeah, honestly. That's the worst one. Which is why I might start AFKing like sharks or something. Because then I have a passive income. Then I have a passive income of sharks and fishing XP.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, it's slow.
Minnows.
That's like some amount of effort, and while recording the podcast, I'd like to use no effort. So,
Yeah, that's true. If you're recording the podcast, I'd recommend just AFKing sharks.
Yeah,
Do you have a dragon harpoon?
I do.
Do you don't have a smoldering stone?
No. And if I had a smoldering stone, it'd go in my axe for the clue step.
Is there a clue step that needs the...
Val the Bard asks for an infernal axe.
Oh, shit, you're right. Okay, yeah, then never mind. Plus, you probably want to keep the sharks anyways to cook them later.
Yeah. Does infernal harpoon not just cook them for you and that's it?
It cooks them, but it also deletes them.
Weird.
Just like the infernal pickaxe and the infernal
I didn't
axe.
know that it just deleted them. I thought that...
Yep.
I thought it only deleted logs and then...
Nope, deletes all of them.
Wacky.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying. Like, for the logs, it makes sense, because, like, once you burn the log, it's gone.
Yeah, it's just...
But you get an output normally when you cook sharks or fish.
They should have made it so that you get
you know?
the item, and when you're wood cutting, it just puts ashes in your inventory.
That would be so funny. Dude, there's been this Bob the Cat random at the fishing guild for... How long have I been logged in here? Like half an hour.
I wonder if it has to do with
staring at a player.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the pet bug that's happening right now. Have you seen that? Pets are just like
this is probably just someone's pet. This is probably not
pets
Bob.
are just
I'm
like
so
getting stuck places. I don't know if you've noticed this. They just like aren't teleporting
I have noticed.
to players when they get far enough away. They'll just like sit there.
Yeah, I've seen them just like sitting in like the middle of the GE, just like rotating to face their owner. But like the owner's nowhere to be found.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
It happens to my pets too.
Yeah, I was doing barrows last night, and I had my KQ pet following me, and just at random intervals, KQ would just appear behind me, and I was like, "Oh, you finally decided to show up." And Julian was, he was, I don't know what he was doing, but he was using my house to teleport to barrows, and he'd be like, "Oh, your KQ pet's out here," and I'm like, "Oh, interesting,
cool."
So yeah, I don't know what's been going on with that. But in other news, I got 99 hit points. I don't really remember when. That was sometime within the past couple weeks.
Nice.
Somewhat recent.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty epic. Now I can go efficiently do Wintertot.
Yo, let's go.
Because I already had like 90 plus hit points, so I might as well wait until I have the higher hit point regen, you know?
Mm-hmm. Are you going to do solos? Or...
Oh, yeah. I don't like masses. I think it's boring.
If I wasn't in like max grind brain right now, I would totally join you for the collection logs. But I was talking about this in the Discord the other day. I have a lot of things I want to do, but I'm just like, man, it would feel bad to go do those things because it's not contributing either to my cash stack to spend on buyables, or it's not contributing to XP to finish the other skills, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm having a lot of fun, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not at any risk to burn out, I don't think. Which is, like...
Unless I light a fire underneath you, and then you'll burn.
So, 99 hit points. Anything else this week, or...?
I green-logged Mahogany Homes.
Hell yeah.
I actually really like the nice. Hosidius house theme. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it does look nice.
It also has, if you have music on, your house theme changes like the little intro it plays when you go into your house. Oh. And the Hosidius one sounds cool. Very nice. I like it. I finally did my Kraken task that I'd been sitting on for like 2 or 3 weeks. I have a third jar. And I have another trident, and I still don't have a tentacle.
That's so upset. Isn't tentacle pretty common?
It's the most common drop.
I recently got a Kraken task, and I'm green-logged Kraken, so I have no reason to do that. But I don't have the uncharged trident that you get from the mini Krakens.
Relatable.
So I did a task there, and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to grab my Sang, because that's what I had. Terrible mistake. Oh my god, I spent
Yeah.
2 mil to do 1 Kraken task.
I think using Sang at actual Kraken boss is worth it. You can usually recoup
you still
the
lose
costs.
money, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about that because I made 4 mil off my Kraken task. So
well, it's like 600 GP every time you cast.
I guess, yeah, but as long as you go like on rate for uniques, I imagine it's like maybe break even,
yeah,
possibly
fair.
profit.
Okay. Yeah.
Because Trident's still regular Trident's still worth like what, 600k, 400k, somewhere in that range,
Something like that.
587.
How much does a Trident cost to cast? 300 GP. So yeah, okay, you'd still make some money.
Yeah, and like there's some.
You don't make money at the little ones though.
Yeah,
and I did not
absolutely
get the. I did not get the uncharged Trident that I wanted for the collection.
Should have pulled out the Ivan staff, honestly.
I think I'm just gonna break out Slayer Dart next time. Honestly,
fair.
like I think that's better, right, than Ivan's.
At 99 magic, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but
and especially since you're main and you can just buy the things that make it better on task. Yeah.
Yeah. My week's been pretty uneventful for the most part. You didn't finish.
There's one
what
last
else did
thing
you do?
that I did literally just yesterday.
You do.
I got a Carol's bottom.
Nice.
Now I have Carol's top and bottom, and I still don't have Aram's top and bottom, and I'm sad.
Go get that, and also get a spear, and then go do Toa.
Anyways, you can talk now.
Okay, cool. I haven't been really doing a ton. I got 99 Herblore, like, in the middle of last week, but we didn't record that week, so, I didn't talk about it then, but sold off all of that, and then immediately bought 99 Smithing. I am currently at 94 Smithing. I did Giant's Foundry and greenlogged that. I talked about it a little bit on the episode, but I'm kind of realizing, like, Giant's Foundry is faster than I realized, because I started doing Addy plate bodies. And unless I'm, like, really paying attention to the screen, Giant's Foundry kind of beats the shit out of it.
Yeah, like, it's pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah,
Other
I mean,
than the
to be
gripe
fair,
of
that's
it just being, like, kind of not quite AFKable and not quite engaging enough. It's
more AFK than the Addy plates with the torso, though. Or not the torso, the smithing outfit.
Yeah, I can mega AFK smithing because my dumb iron ass wants to make dart tips. So.
Yeah, I made, like, a good amount of Addy dart tips as well, just while I was AFKing and doing other things. But yeah, I made 20,000 dart tips.
Yo, fletching XP, let's go.
I might actually use it for fletching.
I don't know. It might be efficient. Addy, I don't know how much the dart tips are worth, but I know Addy darts are 25 GP. I can do it while doing
agility is a thing. It's 0 time if I'm
fair, I guess.
Doing agility at the same time. But yeah, I did that. Greenlog Giant's Foundry. I got another collection log slot thing, and I don't remember what it was now. I have to go check my collection log site. Oh, yeah, I did a little bit more BA with some people, and I started getting, I started going for the BA collection log. So I got the penance gloves. I already have the boots, so I just need, like, the skirt, and then all the hats, and the pet, of course, but...
Nice. Yeah. I am apparently going to be doing BA with the IRL friend group, apparently. We're getting David to get 50 ranged so that he can use an MSB.
Oh, nice. Do you guys already have all the people you need for that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think it would have been myself, Malachi, David, my brother, and someone else. Did I already say Julian? I don't remember.
I don't.
But we had 5. So
Nice.
We couldn't do it yesterday because we were waiting for David to get at least 50 ranged, and I think Malachi's going to be gone today, so Sag, but...
Oh, I did one more thing. I did some necks.
Oh yeah, you told me.
There's some people in TNL that do like small team necks every once in a while. And so I joined them. I didn't really know what was going on. I watched like a No Monkey video at like 2 times speed while I was getting KC. And then we just kind of sent it. I don't think I was doing too bad. There were some parts where I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to do what you guys are doing. One of the runs, they were all like, oh man, that was a really good run. I used like no supplies. And I'm sitting there with like half my brews already drank. I'm like, yeah, guys, I did really well too. But I got like every Nex combat achievement done except for the duo and the perfect Nex. And I went and like
perfect Nex on your first try. What the heck?
Yeah, I only did like 5 KC, and then I went and did the Mass World for a little while for another 3, and I griefed the first one, and I felt so bad about it because like people in the chat were raging about it. But I got like
who gives a shit? They're doing mass Nex. That shit sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny. It. I assume like people would be coughing throughout the whole thing every time, but then like the 2 that I wasn't intentionally griefing, but after like the first or the second minion was dead, no one was coughing anymore. And I was just like, oh, I was the problem.
Deserved. I'll be honest, I have such a low opinion of mass worlds.
That's fair. But you know, the Nex was an experience. Like, I know people complain about Nex all the time for being brew simulator, but I didn't realize in like small teams, you're literally going through like half an inventory worth of brews every like 3 kills or so, and also the same amount of like restores for I think what amounts to like a 1 in 48 for any unique. So that you're using a lot of supplies for a pretty rare item
that isn't even that much of an upgrade. Dry on. As far as like Torva's concerned,
upgrade. The Ancient God Sword is really only used for PKing, and the
Zarite Band Braces are a small upgrade. Honestly, ZCB I think is the biggest one, just because the specs kind of crazy at places.
ZCB is the biggest one. I mean, Torva's good.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Torva's good, but in my opinion, it's a fashion downgrade, so kind of worthless ammo.
Yeah, that's been my week. Just, you know, slowly working towards max. I'm 2209 total now. Construction and Hunter are my only skills below 90 at this point. And that's only just because I don't really want to train any of those right now.
Yeah, I was doing Mahogany Homes for a while, so I greenlogged it. I bought a supply crate as my last thing, and man, I forgot how bad those supply crates are.
They're terrible.
I got like 28 soft clay, and that's it. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've considered going back to Giant's Foundry for more smithing XP, because I'm like, oh, I could just go do that some more. But then I was like, oh, what am I buying at Giant's Foundry? What? Sorry, repeat that?
Grogs? The Quebec
Grogs?
Yeah,
that's like 50k for like 300 Foundry points, though.
It's not
like,
really...
it's pretty bad. And you can't sell
that's like
the
50k
smithing
every
catalyst.
other swordish.
Yeah, you can't sell the catalyst, and the ore packs are pretty terrible. You get like 6.5k for 200 points.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So like, yeah, I guess I'll just buy Grogs. I don't know. I think I'd probably, instead of doing Ruin Addy like I was to, you know, cruise through the smithing levels, I'd probably just do Addy Mithril.
Yeah, that's what most of my swords have been.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's not really worth using the rune there. Because if I'm using bars, well, those could be rune darts, I guess. Even though that doesn't super matter. Because theoretically, eventually, I can just get amethyst darts.
I think rune's better than amethyst, though, right? Or is it the other way around?
I think amethyst is between rune and dragon, if I remember right.
Okay. You might be right.
Fairly confident.
Actually, we can check. Yeah, it's 2 better than rune. Yeah. So. And there's no real reason to get rune darts. I don't know what else you'd use rune for, though.
Yeah,
rune knives, I guess. Yeah. If you want to go for jaw.
Yeah, but by the time I can smith rune knives, I'll probably have a jaw.
Yeah, because what the fuck level do you need for rune knives? It's pretty high, isn't it? It's 92.
Yeah, I have 86 smithing. I don't think I will be getting 92 smithing before I get a jaw. I'm at 600 KC.
I guess runite bolts.
But what do I use? Where do I use those? I'm just gonna use blood bolts probably.
Well, to make
I guess onyx.
With onyx bolt tips to make or dragonstone, but I mean dragonstone's kind of a meme.
Yeah, if I wanted those, I'd just play LMS.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Though, to be fair, I wouldn't even spend my LMS points on those. If I have LMS points, I'm buying collection log slots.
Yeah, I guess to make onyx bolts and alch them when you get onyx bolt tips from somewhere.
I already have a fair amount of them from something or other. I don't remember.
Probably. I think there's a lot of ways to get them.
They're dropped from a fair number of sources. Yeah, I don't know. But it just doesn't seem worth it to use rune bars at Giants Foundry for me. And then it is extra not worth it to use rune items at Giants Foundry because I can alch them for money. Rune items are basically my primary source of money. So
yeah, you'd probably want to do Addy Mithril.
That's pretty much all I've ever done.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a pretty light week in terms of me doing content. I did quite a few Toa. I haven't seen anything once again in a while. It's I know it's rich of me to be complaining about Toa drops, but I don't know. You go dry for a while and it just really gets to you.
Tell me about it.
I've done how many raids now?
I'm dying to hear about it.
Almost 250. I've done 236 raids, and I've seen 2 items in my name. Which isn't the worst. I've seen worse logs, but I want something else in my name just to take off the collection log. Some more splits would be nice. I haven't seen anything since we got the shadow split. And
I have an arcane.
Someone. What now?
I have an arcane.
Congrats.
That's it. I think
do more raids.
When I did my 150 chambers on my main, I think I saw a dex, and then I saw
it's pretty bad.
I saw 3 items in total, I think, and I'm pretty sure 2 of them were prayer scrolls, and 1 of them was something else that I can't remember, and it's not on my tracker because I didn't install the tracker till way after that. So I have no idea, but it was not great, and I never saw anything in my name, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're saving your luck for when you get the T-bow soon.
Haha, yeah. T-bow without dex would actually make me just fucking off myself.
It would still be better than most of your options. It'd still be an upgrade.
I guess, but just not having dex is just wow, this weapon could just be better.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with every time I'm using Bofa. I'm man, wish I had dex.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've been killing moss giants in the wilderness lately because I have a master clue step that requires the Brio staff. So I've been trying to farm up some keys. And augury's not the worst thing to have. I've escaped from basically every PK area because they'll splash against me like 80 times in a row because I just clicked on augury.
Yeah, that's pretty nice to have.
There was some guy that was
magic
in like near
accuracy
max.
is such a joke.
He was near max PKing gear. Like Toxic Staff of the Dead. I think he was in Ancestral, like just insane PKing gear, just killing my dumbass wearing mostly diary gear and black d'hide. Like, hello?
And you escaped still?
And I escaped because he splashed his freeze on me like 5 times in a row, and I just made it to the 30 line.
That's so funny.
And it's like, sucks to be you, buddy. I clicked on augury.
We did see something pretty cool from Toa. Corkster, one of the guys that was there when I got the Shadow Split, he got the Toa pet.
Neat.
Yeah, we finished a raid. It was like a 300 or something, or maybe it was a 250. We were kind of swapping between them throughout the day, and we're all kind of disappointed because we get fucking nothing again. And he opens his chest last as we're all leaving, and suddenly, we see a clan message that he got the fucking pet, and we freak out. But, that dude is an absolute magnet for items.
Oh, God, I wish that were me.
His collection log is
I'm also
cracked.
a magnet for items, except you know how when you turn magnets the wrong way and they push each other away from each other?
Yeah, you repulse them.
Yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's been my week. Kind of uneventful for the most part.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just kind of doing Slayer, trying to get to 93, not just for the diary, but also just because I kind of want to have an occult, because, it's kind of really good to have.
Yeah, it's really, what is it, 15%?
10%.
Mage strength? 10%? That's still cracked.
Yeah, because on a main, it's like dirt cheap and 10% mage strength. It's just so insane. I don't even remember what the drop rate of that is. Hopefully not bad, but I'll probably never get it anyways.
It's pretty high.
Yeah. I have no idea how I'm going to do Thermi. I don't know what the methods are. I've never done that boss in my life.
You will probably just tent whip it.
Haha, yeah.
Or you right. You'll probably just regular whip it, or you'll max range freeze it. Your choice.
Bofa coming to the rescue again, it sounds like.
No, you mage it.
Oh, max range. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Max range freezing.
I mean, I guess I could do that. I have Toxic Staff of the Dead, 15% mage strength for the freezes.
True. I mean, that doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't. But it's
use a trident.
It'd be funny.
Yeah.
Every time I freeze,
cast
just
the
to
freeze.
It's 10.
I mean, if you're really swapping to something, it would be probably better just to swap to the Muspa Ancient Staff.
Ancient Scepter.
Ancient Scepter, thank you. Yeah, it'd probably be better to swap to the Ancient Scepter and get the extra freeze time.
Such a small amount of extra freeze time, though.
It's probably not worth it at all.
That won't be going up. I don't know if we want to transition to talk about that yet, but...
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that in the second part. I mean, we can transition here shortly, because it seems like we don't really have a whole lot to talk about left, but I do have one thing I want to complain about.
Sure, go for it.
Fucking Calfight Queen, dude.
Boss is ezy. Just kill it.
I got a Calfight Queen task, and I was like, I'll just do like 55. It's fine. I need the jar. Fuck that boss, dude.
Boss, yeah.
I did like 25 KC, and I was like, I'm leaving this place. I hate this boss. I was like going super fucking try hard. I didn't want to swap to range, because I'm kind of lazy. But I was using...
What do you mean you're kind of lazy? You get like 10 minutes to switch to range.
I'm lazy.
Yeah,
I'd rather stay in the cave longer. So what I was doing is I had Dragon Warhammer, I would pre-venge on the way there, use spellbook swap to Arceus. I would enter into the area. She'd hit me. I would cast my Thrall, double Warhammer spec. Then I'd swap to the Partisan of Breaching, and I'd probably get another Venge off or something before it swapped to the range phase. I'd walk under, swap to Arceus again, cast another Thrall, even though I had like 30 seconds usually left on it still. And then I would also cast Death Charge. And basically every single kill I had double Warhammer, because I was also using a Light Bearer. And like kills were pretty fast, but
honestly, I feel like you'd hate the boss less if you brought real switches. That sounds terrible.
Well, with the Partisan of Breaching and hitting both Warhammers, like the range or mage, the flying phase, that's what it's called. The flying phase doesn't really have any defenses to really tank your hits, so it goes by pretty quickly. Plus with the Venges and the Thrall damage, like it's pretty fast. It's just like you just randomly take 30s and you're like, cool, yep, awesome. And there's nothing you can do about it. I complained about it in Petscape, and Quest somewhat jokingly suggested, just bring 2 alts with Sang Staves. I was like, haha, yeah, let me just break out the alts that totally have Sang Staves. I don't know. The boss is dog shit, though.
It's not a great boss.
You take so much damage.
Yeah, I've done like 100 some. I'm not going back to that boss till I have like Insano mode gear. I don't care. Or if I'm on task. If I get Calphite
what do you need to
Queen
go back
specifically, Jar. Literally just Jar. And
yeah,
also pickaxe,
you're in the same
I guess.
position as me. Get the pickaxe from the Wildy.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen
better
with the fucking 2-handers that I've gotten instead of the goddamn pickaxe.
I mean,
and I got
I'm
fucking
also
Tyrannical
dry.
Ring. It's cool, man. I'm sure I'll use that nowhere.
I'm like double the drop rate for like seeing anything in the wilderness. I've gotten like the Skull of Edion.
Cool. I'd like that. That'd be cool. It's just
I don't know.
Pisses me off, man. I don't know. The Wildy boss rework is great, but my luck there has just been awful.
Yeah.
Like it's theoretically been pretty good. I have rare drops from it. They're just completely worthless. It's kind of like my Zambu luck. It's like, I'm glad that I got stuff. That's cool. But they don't really do anything for me.
You just wish it was something.
Yeah, I wish it was something useful. Yeah. I love seeing the collection log slots. I love getting them. But then, like, later, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wow, this actually pisses me off. I want something that I can use. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's whatever. All I can do is just keep playing the game. Still having fun. It's whatever. But
it's
fair. Just annoying to think about sometimes. So I try not to think about it.
I think now is a great time to head to break, because this week's episode was sponsored by the Giants Foundry. Head into Giants Foundry today and make Kovac some oversized swords so he can totally not invade the rest of Gielinor.
Yeah, this episode was also sponsored by Augury. Click on it if you want to never take damage from mage attacks.
And welcome back, everybody.
Sure.
So, we had an actual game update this week with features and things to do. Not really main game stuff, but we got another beta.
Content!
The Ruinous Powers Beta V2 with all the changes they've made. Hey, Editing Sparre here. On June 19th, Jagex put out the Future of the Ruinous Powers blog post, where Jagex announced that the Ruinous Powers would not be coming into the game, at least for the time being. If you want to hear Bird and I talk about the future of the Ruinous Powers blog, tune into the next episode number 11. We'll probably get into that quite a bit. But everything we're about to talk about doesn't really matter. So, enjoy, I guess. And they actually listen to, like, community complaints.
I'm not sure how much I agree with their fixes to community complaints.
Some complaints I have with it. That's for sure. But I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So they adjusted basically like all of the prayers. Some pretty minor, some pretty major. The like biggest one is we no longer have the deflect prayers. So no more chip damage and, you know, a chance to deflect a tiny amount of damage back. Instead now we have, what are they calling them?
Dampen
prayers. And so it's the version that they proposed where it was like, you get 100% protection, but if you get hit by something, you take 10% extra damage. So if there's like a boss that deals 2 damage types, then you're taking more damage. So like at KQ, you'll just take 10% extra damage if you try to use this prayer.
And notably, I think it's worth stating that it is only 10%, and while you think percentage is a big deal, if you're taking a 50, you're taking 5 more damage.
Yeah.
While kind of a big deal, it's probably not as big of a deal as people initially think when you read that.
Yeah, true. Like if you get
I think it's in line with what they're going for the, you know, high risk, high reward, where there is in fact a risk for using these versions of the protection prayers, but it's not like insane.
Yeah.
Whereas the chip damage, it was noticeable at all times everywhere and was just kind of annoying. And the increased prayer drain of the protection prayers combined with the chip damage, and just having the tiny damage reflection was not really enough to make up for it.
Yeah, if you're like PKing, and say you hit like, I don't know, a 70 AGS spec, and someone is using the prayer book, you'll hit a 77, which like sucks, but it's not like that much more damage that you'll be taking.
I think in PvP this is actually much more interesting.
Yeah.
For no honor fights, it encourages you to actually be on prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of praying the wrong thing.
I mean, you're always encouraged to be on prayer, but
I mean, yeah,
there's more there's more risk to it now.
Sometimes it feels like I'm like praying ranged in LMS, and I just get hit like 3 max hits in a row, and it's like, cool, glad I was doing that.
I mean, it'll still work that way.
I know, but that's just a general gripe I have with PvP in this game sometimes. It's like you can do everything right and still just get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we got that changed. And
another thing I kind of want to talk about with this one is if you are praying any of the protection prayers at all, and you get hit with some kind of like typeless damage that goes through prayer, I believe it also increases that damage.
Yeah.
So if you get hit with a Baba boulder, for example, you'll take 10% more damage from a Baba boulder.
Yeah, so you'll take like
don't make mistakes, idiot.
Yeah, instead of taking like an 80, you'll take like an 88.
And also in places where you take chip damage, you will take 10% more chip damage.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just doesn't care about your prayer at all. But for chip damage, it's usually below 10 anyways, so...
Yeah, and if it's below 20, it'll still be 1 extra damage.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal for that, but it is something worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm. It's usable now if you're doing like triple jads. You won't be literally shredded.
Yeah. It's theoretically possible now to use it in the Inferno.
I don't know,
but I'm not
people
sure
will.
It's a good idea to.
Yeah. The rebuke spell or prayer got changed. before. I think it was like... I don't even remember what the old version did, I'm going to be honest.
Basically, what it did is it made you take more damage.
Right.
You would therefore reflect more damage.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And it was also an overhead. So it was asking you to not pray any overhead, take more damage, but therefore dish out more reflected damage.
Yeah, you took more damage and you reflected 15% back. On top of, Venge and other stuff. But, yeah, it was pretty bad. So now, you... What did they change it to? Sorry, give me a second.
We're going to try removing this damage bonus component and replacing the passive recoil effect with a boost to any active recoil effects like Vengeance or Rings of Recoil.
Right.
So basically, as far as my understanding goes, if you pray this prayer, recoil effects are stronger.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, increases the damage of recoil effects deals such as Vengeance by 50% rounded down. I'm going to reread that. Rebuke increases the amount of damage recoil effects deal such as Vengeance by 50% rounded down. So now it's just slightly better Venges. I can see that being useful at like during speedruns where you like intentionally Venge tank.
Yeah, like at Tecton, I do that pretty frequently because it's funny.
Yeah, I know for like world record speedrun attempts, people will Venge tank. So that's cool.
And like a KQ, it could be useful theoretically.
Yeah, KQ it could be useful. Not a whole lot to say with that. The old version was pretty stinky, so having this version is better.
I think it had the right idea, but it needed to be changed, and this is probably a good direction for it.
Yeah. Prediction item is now just a thing on the prayer book because, people complained. I don't really care either way.
You missed Vindication, by the way.
Oh, Vindication, you're right. Right, this is the version of Redemption, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, now I think it's literally just Redemption.
Yeah, I kind of hate this change. I liked the idea of making it so that it did something different than Redemption, but what it did differently to Redemption was kind of bad because it didn't proc at the same time as Redemption, making it useless at Vespula, for example.
Yeah.
And then also encourage that unhealthy playstyle where you'd proc it just to deal more damage. I think that if they switched the strength bonus to accuracy bonus, it would have just kind of been nice, but it wouldn't really have been worth, killing yourself just to get like 10% accuracy. When you could instead just pray Gambit.
But for like people going for like really fast runs, it still would
just
be
pray
worth
Gambit.
it. I guess. I don't know.
Like it wouldn't be worth it. Just pray Gambit. I don't know. I feel like switching it to literally just be Redemption is a little lame.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure what they could do to make it different than Redemption because it definitely needs to function similarly to Redemption. I'm glad that it functions at the same HP threshold and heals you for the same amount as Redemption so that you can actually use it in the places where you already use Redemption. But being identical, I feel like it takes away from a little bit of the identity of ruinous prayers, of just having duplicate prayers.
Yeah, I feel like there's
which I also have the same complaint to an extent with Protect Item, but Protect Item is also kind of just whatever.
Yeah. I feel like there's design space they could work with, but like I feel like giving any sort of DPS increase for proccing the Redemption just has to be out of the question. But like I don't know what they could do instead. Like there has to be design space there. But what that is, I don't know. I'm not a game dev.
Yeah, I don't have any amazing ideas off the top of my head. I'm sure if I thought about it for a bit longer since I read this poll or this blog literally today, I'm sure if I thought about it for a bit longer, I could probably come up with something.
Yeah.
But nothing comes up immediately. But it just feels a little lame that they're just like, because I read our solution, make Vindication function exactly like Redemption. And I was like, that is a lame solution.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Because, like, I don't know.
Like, it works, sure. If this got added to the game, I wouldn't be too upset. But it doesn't stop it from being kind of a lame solution.
Yeah. They also changed all the vows, except for one of them.
These ones I'm also kind of not like super upset about, but just kind of disappointed.
There's one that I think is stinky and I don't really care for, but the other two I think are fine.
They're fine, but they're just disappointing in my opinion.
Lacey's vow I think continues to be the problem child here. So Glacy's vow, instead of being like a mage damage increase, with like a 10% of 10% for, a 1% DPS increase or whatever it was. I don't think it was 10% or 10%. The numbers sucked. It was bad.
It was like 0.8% DPS.
Yeah, and that assumes like your target has no mage defense. Like, it was really bad.
It doesn't assume your target has no mage defense. It assumes that you succeed the mage roll every time. Which, if your target has no mage defense, is theoretically still possible to fail.
True. Now it's just, it reduces your target's magic level by 10% of the damage dealt, up to 15% magic level reduction. Which, I don't know if that's additive or multiplicative. So...
It's probably multiplicative.
Yeah. I don't know, it's too similar to,
yeah, it's just...
To the Shadow one.
It's just Umbra's Vow.
Yeah, it's Umbra's Vow, thank you.
It's just Umbra's Vow.
Which is the only one unchanged, by the way.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
Umbra's, everybody pretty much universally was like, yeah, Umbra's Vow is the only one that doesn't need to be changed.
Yeah, it's Umbra's Vow, but instead of defense, it's magic, which sure has its uses, but I think it's really boring and uninteresting.
Like I said, it's just disappointing.
Yeah. Hers Vow, I think, is actually a good change. This one was the 10%, 10%. So it was 1%
I do have an
lifesteal,
issue with this
bad.
one, but yeah, go ahead.
So instead of being the 10% chance to heal 10%, which is really bad, you heal 1 HP for every 100 damage deal. Not worth it.
Actual dog shit.
Terrible. Now it's every time you kill something, you lose 3 prayer and you heal 3 hit points, which is the a similar effect to what the Karis Partisan of the Sun gives you. I think this is a good change. I think this is interesting. You will use it when you're in desperate need of hit points, but you don't care about your prayer. I think it's good. You if you're
While
in
I
like
find
the middle,
it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I have issue with the fact that Yellow Partisan got specifically voted no to be in the main game, and now they are putting it in the main game.
Well, okay. I'm going to counteract that.
I know that Yellow Partisan failed because of the spec.
Yeah, it's a spec that's the
but
problem.
This doesn't stop that line of logic.
Yeah. I mean, we still haven't voted on this. We can still vote no.
Yeah. I think it's fine, but I always have to think about stuff like this. What kind of dangerous precedent are we setting? It's probably not a big deal, I tell myself. But it could be.
So the thing...
It's just, I don't know.
The thing with it is you're using 3 prayer points for 3 hit points. That's not a great deal.
That's not my problem, right? That's I don't really have a big issue with that. But
you just think it's a slippery slope?
It is, yeah. It is the same reason why I generally just refuse to buy games that have like insane microtransaction stores.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not something I can support. That one is obviously significantly more important to me than this.
Yeah.
But this kind of follows that same line of logic for me. This one isn't a big deal, but I'd probably vote yes to this. But that would be in the back of my head as a concern.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. I think, like, as long as we can continue voting on content and the devs listen to, like, community feedback, it's probably fine. My problem with the as long as we can continue voting on content shit is everything passes, unless it's egregious. Well, I mean, counterpoint, yes, a lot of things pass. Counterpoint, though, the forestry stuff is getting reworked, and also the ruinous powers are getting reworked because the community said that, we didn't like the current iterations.
Yeah.
So, like,
I mean, I guess. I don't know. It's just something I always have to be worried about because, I care about the health of the game. And if we trust one party too much, if we trust Jagex too much or we trust the community too much, we're going to probably accidentally end up doing things that we didn't really want. So it's a delicate balance, and it's an entirely separate conversation, I think.
Yeah.
And I always err on the side of being way too cautious anyways. So
I don't know. I think it's interesting and I like it.
Yeah, it's probably fine, but like I said, it's
also,
just something
I think it would
that
be really
I think
funny
is important to keep in mind.
To be doing content with someone and watch them smite themselves because they forgot to turn it off.
Skill issue.
Fumus's Vow, I think...
I hate this.
It's okay.
This is so lame.
I don't know where I'd use it, though. So instead
this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, instead of doing, like, the weird poison intensity thing and like, applying poison to things that have poisoned you or venom, it now makes it so if you hit something with a poisoned weapon, it will instantly apply the first tick of poison, which is fine, I guess.
I feel like this is just such a cop-out.
It's
the
like...
Fumus's Vow in its original state could have been good if they put in the dev time to actually figure out where poison came from, did a little engine work to perhaps tag the poison that you have as coming from a specific source. It probably would have been a lot of work, and I can understand that they probably didn't want to do that work because it would have required probably a fair number of new systems to ensure that nobody could abuse it. But I mean, this is just lame in comparison. I think Fumus's Vow was a really cool idea that just needed some refinement and some work to make sure that it worked exactly as they wanted it to and wasn't abusable. This is just lame.
Yeah.
This one is going to forever disappoint me because I think Fumus's Vow was really cool.
I feel like...
It had niche use cases that would have been very interesting.
I don't know. I feel like the uses were too niche, and the engine work probably to be able to, like, detect whether or not the poison tiles at, the engine work to detect whether or not the poison tiles in Cox or Toa or wherever, what source they came from would have been probably a lot of...
I don't know, man.
work.
Just throw a var bit on the player that tracks what their most recent poison source was.
Yeah, but the problem is the poison tiles dropped on the ground aren't associated with an NPC. That's why Venge doesn't work on them.
Then make them associated with an NPC.
I mean, there's probably a reason they don't do that, though. I imagine probably some
I
spaghetti
don't imagine
code.
that there would be.
Maybe.
And
I don't
also,
know.
if there's spaghetti code, fix it.
True. I don't know. I feel like
it's not that simple. Don't get me wrong. I am aware of the game development process, but sometimes, as a game developer, you have a system that works that is janky, and you would like to expand upon it. You need to fix it.
Yeah.
It's not something that you want to do, but it's something you need to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's something else they could do.
It to me just feels like a cop-out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. It's boring now. Like, it can't be abused, but what really all you're getting is a small DPS increase for I don't know. You just turn it on for one hit, you get the increased damage, and then once the poison ticks down, you just do it again, I guess.
I don't even see myself praying this ever. What's the point?
Well, okay, so say you're attacking, I don't know, a boss that can be poisoned, or you're attacking...
Yeah, I was about to say, name a boss that can be poisoned.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, KWD. Say you're attacking KWD. I don't know why you're using poison there, but just pretend you are for a moment. You hit him once with your poisoned weapon, and then you attack him normally. And then as soon as you see the poison splat the second time, I guess you'd hit him again, and you'd get another poison splat at max intensity. But, like, I don't know. I don't think it's really worth doing. It's boring. You get
like, I guess if you're
damage.
using blowpipe at KQ because KQ is susceptible to poison for some reason.
Is she really?
Yes.
Okay.
She's immune to venom, but not poison.
What the fuck? Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yes, every time you see the poison
But, like, you're going to kill KQ long before, like, within those 2 game ticks, unless you're getting really unlucky with your damage hits, or those 2 poison ticks, unless you're getting really unlucky with your damage hits, KQ's probably dead.
Yeah, how
KBD's probably dead.
How long does it take to tick poison? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know that during my long stint of doing KQ, I would only ever see maybe 2 poison ticks.
Yeah, timer. It works on an internal timer. Yeah,
it's
but
like
how
12
long?
seconds or something, I think.
30 game ticks, 18 seconds. So
Okay, 18.
You'd get like 3 or 4 poison ticks on KQ, and you'd basically double the amount of poison ticks against her. If you're
For like what? 4 extra damage?
well, no.
Well, I guess because you're instantly poisoned. So
you'd get an extra.
I don't know. I feel like you're still getting like because you're repoisoning and getting the poison spot instantly.
Yeah.
But then you're only dealing like maybe 16, 20 damage extra through putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah. Where's the blowpipe? How much poison damage does a blowpipe deal?
8 or something.
8? So
well, it's reduced to poison on KQ, for example, so it's less.
Okay.
And it's reduced to poison on like most things because most things are immune to venom.
Yeah. I don't know how it works. But I don't know. You'd get the basically any time. The way I would like rough napkin math DPS calc how much damage you'd get is just take how many times poison would tick down naturally while killing the boss, and then just add that amount of damage times 2, basically. So like if you're dealing 4 poison ticks against the boss, you're dealing an extra, let's just pretend you're dealing 8 poison every time. You're dealing that 4 times, you'd get an extra 32 damage, I guess. Plus 4 for it not ticking down. But... yeah. I don't know. It's not very good, I don't think, and
it's not very good, and you have to put in a lot of effort and thinking, and you have to like watch the poison ticks if you're trying to be efficient.
Yeah.
It just seems worthless. It just seems not worth my time.
I agree.
I would rather have something nichely useful like Fumus's, like the original Fumus's Vow, than something near worthless like this.
Yeah, I looked at the Reddit, and the general community consensus seems to be it's pretty boring now and nichely useful. People are saying like it was good but boring. I disagree. I don't think it's that good. Unless I'm misunderstanding how it's supposed to work.
I'm sure there's places where this is okay. Yeah. But I refuse to believe that it's like worth it good.
Yeah.
It's probably like if you're max efficiency scaping, going absolutely insano mode, just cranking your DPS as high as you possibly can. Yeah, sure, this is probably worth it. Yeah. For the average player, probably not worth their time thinking about.
Yeah. What is worth your time thinking about is the rest of the changes. So all of the prayers, the offensive prayers, have had their strength bonuses decreased from 30 to 27%. And they've had their accuracy increased from 20 to 25%. and we've lost Gambit. Gambit is now...
Wait, Gambit's gone?
Yeah, Gambit is now called Intensify, and it's an all-combat style 40% increased accuracy, but you cannot use Annihilate, Decimate, or...
It's not an overhead?
It's not an overhead.
This is so fucking boring.
I mean, all it is now is just you want to land a BGS or a Warhammer. Cool. Vaporize, that's the last one.
This is like, this just continues my thought process of this is fine but disappointing.
Well, so it's the prayer that like the high level community has been asking for. They want something that just lets them hit Warhammers, because nothing is more unfun than missing your Warhammer. And I don't disagree, but I don't know.
Having it as an overhead was a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Because you could theoretically flick it between attacks.
I think that's not fun, though.
I think it is.
It's just, I don't know. I think prayer flicking is just not fun to do.
I think you suck.
I don't disagree. I don't know.
I've always appreciated that theoretically max level play is flicking, but in reality, the bonus you are getting from doing that insane flicking is not like crazy. It's just good.
It can be crazy if you're one-tick flicking.
Yeah, but nobody's one-tick flicking at like real bosses. That's not happening.
That's because nobody's in Sano mode. I don't know. You have to think about like the how good the community is now compared to like back in like 2016, you know, or 2018 or 2020, you know, not even that long ago. Like people thought like the Inferno was like impossible, but now, you know, normal-ish players are able to complete the Inferno, especially with the gear that's come out. Like the skill level of the community has just improved massively. And I think at some point we're going to get like actually cracked gamers that are just, you know, doing Tobs and Inferno is just one tick flicking the whole fucking thing.
I don't think so. Especially when you have to change which prayers you're using all the time. I just don't think it's really realistic.
I don't know. So I mean, even regardless of that, I think that I just didn't think it was super fun to flick an overhead for increased accuracy all the time. I think it's too punishing if you do get hit because you're off prayer, and the benefit was not worth it.
Then don't do it.
Yeah. I wasn't.
But if you want to go crazy, you can.
But now we have Intensify. And
now there's no reason to flick it.
Correct.
You just use it to hit Warhammers.
I think this is a better way to give the community the Warhammer increased spec chance than like the other suggestions I've seen. Like giving the Nightmare Armor, why can't I think what it's called?
The Inquisitor's Armor?
Yeah, instead of giving the Inquisitor Armor a guaranteed spec to hit. I don't know why it's so popular with some players, but...
Because people are coping that they want Inquisitors to be good.
Yeah.
And if we start throwing all these stupid, arbitrary... Like, the fact that Tecton, if you miss a spec, still gets stat drained, and it's the only boss in the game that does that, is so inconsistent and weird, and I don't know why that's in the game. Like, I understand why we did that.
How fucking dogshit Tecton was.
Because the boss was bad.
Yeah.
Just make a good boss. Instead of adding these weird, arbitrary exceptions to the normal mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
Because you made a bad boss.
Yeah. I don't know.
I understand that it's very easy for me to say, oh, just make a good boss.
Yeah.
Obviously, making a good boss takes time and effort.
Like, I understand why they have to make bosses tanky, because then you could just run around blow piping everything, and it'd be great. But like some bosses are just so restrictively tanky. It's just so unfun. Like doing a Toa, if you're doing like a 350 or whatever, and everyone misses their Warhammer, or not Warhammer, their BGS, then it's just like, cool.
Should have brought Bone Dagger.
Yeah, I mean, people do bring Bone Dagger for that reason. It's like the fact that you have to bring Bone Dagger is so dumb. When we're doing next,
I think Bone
someone brought a Bone Dagger.
That shit's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
We need the I was shown what one of the rewards from the later quests in the Goblin storyline are. Mm-hmm. You get like this. It's basically a BGS. You have to attach a Bandos hilt to it.
Oh. What?
It's basically
this is
you
an
can
RS3
use this.
thing?
Yeah, it's an RS3 item. It's a quest reward and it's a weapon, and you can use it as a normal weapon. But you can also attach a Bandos hilt to it, and it gets the BGS spec, and so it becomes a slightly better BGS.
Okay.
I think it's kind of cool, honestly.
Yeah, I'd have to see like
because
what
you still have to
better.
use the Bandos hilt.
Yeah,
I think the spec is the same. It's just the weapon itself is different.
It's like more accurate, or
I have no idea.
Okay, because like
I didn't really
there's
look
a lot
into
of things you can mean by it's better. Like it's a 4-tick now, so you can like main hand it, or
no,
like,
it's giant. There's no
damage.
way. It's still 2-handed and it's fucking enormous. So I imagine it's still like fucking 10 million tick.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, an upgraded BGS or Warhammer or even an upgraded Bone Dagger. So, like, we have...
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say, is I was like, they should make an upgrade to the Bone Dagger.
I mean, we're also getting, the other prayer that I keep forgetting the name of, the Shadow one, to reduce defense levels. Yeah. And,
Umbra's Vow.
Umbra's Vow, thank you. Yeah, we're getting Umbra's Vow. So, like, that'll be a thing. That'll be nice to have. Because then you can, like, Umbra's Vow for a hit or two and then hit your BGS. Or your Warhammer. Or your Bone Dagger or whatever.
And even if you miss your Bone Daggers, your BGSs, you can just pray Umbra's Vow.
Yeah. I mean, they stack together, so...
Yeah, that's also true. So...
That'll be nice.
I think that this definitely has a solution, but once again... Ruinous Prayers isn't supposed to be you use this everywhere now prayer book.
Yeah, like so I feel like they missed the mark.
It's not a 100% solution.
I feel like they missed the mark.
Be a 100% solution
with the prayers now. Like, I'm just gonna get these prayers, and why would I ever not just use them everywhere? You know?
Yeah, basically the only reason you wouldn't use these everywhere is if you're taking off prayer damage. On like a Slayer task or something, but I have no idea where you do that. Like maybe at
KQ,
Necreals?
I guess?
No, KQ. No, because KQ, they want you to use it because of the rework where you...
The rework, yeah,
reflect
the
more
damage
damage
and stuff. And plus, you'll just deal more damage anyways and be more accurate. Like, I'm just going to use it anyways. Like, I don't...
It's not to mention, of course, the prayer level requirements, though. That's also a big barrier to entry for like a lot of accounts in the game.
Yeah. Oh. But before we move on to like other stuff, they mentioned that you're gonna need the Dex and Arcane Spare Scrolls.
But why don't you need? Why doesn't it specify that you have to complete the Knight's Waves?
Yeah,
for the melee one.
Feels a little inconsistent.
Hello.
That.
Because now, I mean, realistically, peers aren't going to be getting this. But if there is some kind of weird... Sure. If there is, the peers out there that can finish this quest, and I don't know what kind of XP this rewards, right?
They specifically said one defense peers can still do this.
Okay, then yeah, this is stupid. The melee one needs to require Knight's Waves.
Yeah.
Because that was like the whole reason why the stupid shit from Amir's Arena that was like, oh, you can unlock Piety, except it's not as good.
Yeah, I mean, like...
That got voted no.
The thing is, like, when they said that in this blog, people panic bought Dex and Arcane, and they, like, fucking spiked in price, and then they had to clarify.
Well, that's average.
Yeah, they had to clarify, like, no, you don't need... If you already have the prayers, you don't need new scrolls.
Yeah.
And also for defense peers, while you cannot normally activate Rigor and Augury because it has a defense requirement, you can activate the ruinous powers because they don't have the defense requirement.
Yeah, it's a little odd. I don't know. Feels weirdly inconsistent.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know.
That's not really my problem, though. I'm not really a PvP player.
Yeah. It'll definitely increase the power level of that scene.
Yeah, just from the standpoint of, consistency, seems a little odd.
But I think that's, about it for the ruinous powers.
Also, notably, prayer point drain rates have been lowered across the board.
That's good. Yeah.
Which needed to happen.
It was insane before. I understand it should probably cost a little bit more than, current prayers, but it felt like double the prayer rate.
And then, of course, we have the Band-Aid fix of RuneLite can reorder your prayers.
Yeah. That...
Okay, I want to complain about something real quick. Prayer filtering is worse than useless. I fucking misclicked on the prayer filter button while I was doing Gauntlet one time, and I just didn't have access to my prayers until I, realized I needed to close that menu.
Wait, what do you mean?
If you click on the prayer filter button...
Yeah.
You have to click on the filters button again, right? In order to close that. You can't access your prayers. And I was trying to hit escape or other keys to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And I'm I just want my fucking prayers.
Yeah. But if you hit the enable prayer filtering, it doesn't... You can still use your prayers with the filter button at the bottom. Just you have to click it again to get out of that menu.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that. And also, prayer filtering is worthless anyways. Just why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate that. So dumb. I don't understand why the prayer icons can't just be bigger. Oh no, it's too easy because I can click on things on the screen easier. I hate that shit. So fucking stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be actually doing anything when I'm filtering.
Yeah, no, if you filter prayers, it just removes prayers from the list.
No, it isn't doing anything for me.
Oh yeah, it's actually just not working at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Maybe that's part of the RuneLite being able to move the prayers around thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's prayer reordering. It's cool. They probably will actually implement it into the base game at some point. They say that they want to.
Oh, they made it so you can disable prayer filtering.
Yeah.
And the filter button just goes away.
Yeah. I thought you knew that. I thought that's what you were bitching about.
No.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now you can do that. You can also reorder the prayers, which is going to be nice for the new prayer book. And if you're playing on a pier, on my pier, I don't have Rigor, right? So I would be able to move Eagle Eye to where Rigor normally is. And it's cool, I guess. I don't know. It's a thing.
It matters more for the Ancient Spellbook.
Yeah, the Ancient Spellbook was where it will be nice.
Not Ancient Spellbook, the Ruinous Prayer Book.
Yeah. We both said that.
Because they're fucking everywhere. Mm-hmm. They're just all over the place. It makes no sense in comparison to the regular spell or prayer book.
Yeah.
God damn it.
They did some other tweaks to the rewards from the quest. Virtus robes are now just ancient magic damage and
Lame.
Nothing else. I can
once again
understand.
Continues. I understand why, but it once again just continues my okay. This is just lame now.
So before it was okay, you have the additional effects from the Virtus robes, but also the ancient scepter upgrades are going to give you different effects, and it's
no, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
No,
the ancient
scepter just boosted the effects.
Okay.
It just made them a bigger percent again. It let you, because, Ancient Scepter already just passively boosted it to some degree, and then you can essentially spec it into one of the specific spell types by putting a gem in there.
Okay, fair. Can Here, I'm going back to the old blog. I want to see what they say.
Because I know the blood one was literally just it increases.
Yeah, increased healing,
shit.
increased freeze time. Yeah, okay. Fair.
Like it literally just upgraded it. There was no. I don't understand how there was confusion there.
I mean, I was confused because I
the
forgot
Virtus
what they
robes
did.
added special effects.
Yeah.
And now the special effects from Virtus robes are gone, and instead you get worse special effects from the gems.
Yeah.
Because blood magic can now only overheal you for 10%. The ice one, possibly dangerous. Ice spells gain 10% accuracy on unfrozen targets.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
This could be a problem
In
the wilderness.
Yeah, like, it's already frustrating enough when someone catches a freeze on you every single fucking time they can. But now it's just gonna happen more often. Like, I heard people saying, like, oh, it's a good change. I kind of like...
It's a good change for Inferno.
Yeah. I think the Virtus robe thing was that it
was
like...
increased damage against already frozen targets.
I like that effect more.
Same.
I think it's more interesting. Like, I'm sure PKers would rather catch freezes more, because they're not freezing for the damage, they're freezing to fucking stop you. And...
Yeah, because the meta always, for the most part, has been freeze person, switch to range.
Yeah, freeze person, switch to range, stand under them, fucking, spec them out when they're off prayer, you know?
And, like, you know, if somebody switches to range pray, okay, sure, maybe you'll switch back to mage, or maybe you'll switch to melee, who knows?
Yeah. People already bitch about how long freezes last, and this is just even more.
Yeah, well, this isn't them lasting longer, but this is... It exacerbates the problem, because now you're theoretically getting frozen 10% more.
Yeah.
Like, what if the guy that missed 5 freezes on me instead had this? He probably wouldn't have missed 5 freezes on me.
Yeah, he would have at least caught one of them, most likely. The shadow one?
And, like, I guarantee you, he already had to get pretty fucking unlucky to miss me all 5 of those times in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. The shadow spells now drain strength and defense in addition to attack level.
Once again, this was just the Virtus Robes effect that's now instead on the gem.
Yeah, which...
Probably not going to see any use.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'll be useful when you're, like, maging things.
Okay, but I could just pray Umbra's Vow.
Yeah, true. But what if you're at a place where you can't use Umbra's Vow? You know?
As we just discussed, where are those places?
Yeah, true. I don't know. I don't think it's very interesting, but also shadow spells are kind of bad anyways, so who cares?
Yeah, this doesn't really fix them. But,
the smoke one might actually be kind of useful.
Once again, this is just the Virtus effect, except put into the gem instead.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought it was cool that Virtus gave you, like, extra things for having the full set equipped, because then it actually, like, was like, okay, well, there's a reason to equip all 3, whereas now it's just like, oh, well, each of them is 4% mage strength for ancient spells, which is good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It could be now worth it to, like, not wear the Virtus hood and, like, instead wear a different helmet. I don't know why you would, but theoretically that exists now because there isn't a full set bonus. Similar to, like, how Crystal Helm is. But
yeah.
Crystal Helm does less than the other pieces, so that kind of checks out. These ones are all equal, so I don't know. That would be some math that I'd have to do, figure out what other helmet you'd even wear.
Flare helm, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Unless you're doing PvP and then you just wear the Virtus helm.
Yeah.
But you probably wouldn't. You'd probably just wear
maybe you want to wear a Serp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They feel significantly less useful.
I don't disagree. it's nice that you don't. I don't know. Like the stabs are stronger now because of
I
this.
feel like,
but
yeah. Well, no, I disagree.
what do you mean no?
The stabs are not stronger. I think that the blood one specifically is terrible now. Because, well, in comparison, because previously, if I wore the full Virtus set and I had the blood gem,
Mm-hmm.
I could get like 30% healing out of my blood spells, and I could overheal. That was really good in theory.
Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Where exactly you'd use that, I don't know. Personally, I think that sounds pretty epic for Inferno, for example. I don't know if the 3-way mage switch is completely worth it in Inferno.
Probably not. I don't know. I don't know Inferno.
Right now, typically your mage switch is your magic weapon, sometimes a mage top, usually Ancestral or Ahrim's, and then an occult. So it's usually 3-way. So arguably this way it would turn it into a 5-way. However, I think it would be reasonable to say you could very easily drop Bruise to instead have full Virtus and the Blood Scepter. Or no, it wouldn't even be 5-way. It'd be
4.
No, it'd be 5-way because you'd have the 3 Virtus pieces, the Scepter, and then the Occult. Theoretically, you could maybe drop the Occult since you're getting Mage Strength from the Virtus Robes themselves.
Yeah.
But 10% free magic strength is just kind of good. It still stacks on top of the 12% you're getting from Virtus Robes, so it might be worth it. I'm not 100%. But like the fact you could pretty easily drop like a brew or two from that because now you're starting every wave with like 120 HP or something.
Yeah, you're overhealing.
So I don't know. I thought that was a cool idea. I really liked the concept of that, and you're healing faster because you have the blood gem theoretically, or you could use the ice gem. Not sure if the ice gem would have been amazing.
You'd probably
with its original design.
Use the blood gem, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the ice gem originally? It was
increased damage against frozen targets. So if you froze a nibbler and then needed to cast another barrage on them.
Yeah, not
sure. Like the current ice one, 10% accuracy on unfrozen targets is definitely better for Inferno, for example.
Yeah.
To freeze nibblers more frequently. But I think that the new ice one is a problem.
Yeah, because the new ice one is all about unfrozen targets. When the old one with the Virtus Robes was 10% accuracy against frozen targets and also increased damage if you're using the staff. And now it's just, get fucked if you're trying to escape,
Yeah, like originally I think the Scepter wouldn't have seen any use in PvP. With its original ones.
Well, okay,
because
so
if you get here's the thing, right? If you get increased accuracy and damage or whatever from the ice one in PvP, you'd probably get an equal amount of strength from just having a 15% staff instead of a 5% staff.
So you're right about that if you're just using ice spells. They kind of mentioned it in the beta how you could use the old shadow spells with the Virtus Robes, and it would drain strength, range, magic, and defense, as well as attack, every time you hit. And that's really toxic. That would be really fucking obnoxious in a no honor fight in the Wildy, because you're constantly getting your stats drained. You can't fucking cast your spells because your stats are getting drained.
Yeah. Yeah, but once again, we're not even getting rid of that problem entirely because now the ice vow
the ice vow
drains your magic.
That.
So we're not even removing that problem. If you're using the ice vow and you're using the shadow
it's just
gem,
moved the problem.
You're doing the same thing.
Yeah, to another thing.
Yeah. So this doesn't change anything, in my opinion, and I just am overall disappointed by these changes.
And I think I'm a little more optimistic than you.
The smoke one's cool again, but once again, it was on Virtus Robes.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Also,
I think I don't really care whether or not the effects on the Virtus robes or the staff. I think that's the difference in opinion here.
I just think it would have been way cooler to be able to have both the special effect from the Virtus robes and the increased effect from the gem.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Now you only get one of those things, and it doesn't feel as unique and cool. Maybe from a balance perspective it's better. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But it just feels kind of lame now.
Yeah, these are items I didn't really test super intensively, and I haven't even logged into the beta this time around yet. I don't even know if I will, but I don't know. It seems fine to me.
I don't know. It after going through all the ruinous Sparre stuff that I'm like disappointed by, because I'm like, oh, it feels like they've kind of scrapped a lot of the identity of this spellbook. We get down to this, and it just feels like they're continuing to scrap the identity of these items.
I mean, the original ruinous prayers, like I feel like the identity is still there, but like I don't want
the identity
that
was high risk, high reward that you don't use everywhere. Now it's mild risk, high reward that you can use everywhere. It feels like,
but it was you can't use it everywhere, but like you're gonna use it everywhere that you can. You know, like I don't think there was high risk involved, really.
I mean, you're at risk of using all your fucking prayer potions in your bank.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't know. There's some other changes. The last one from like the reward tweaks was they made the Soul Reaper axe a bit better, higher strength bonus, and the buff drains slower.
This item, maybe it's cool. I don't know, but it just seems like it is just like such a little tack onto the end that doesn't really matter.
It feels weird. I'm sure like once it comes into the main game, people are gonna figure out like where to use it. I hope it doesn't end up as just like another weird item that nobody uses anywhere. Like I got the Colossal Sword and I was like, oh, this is kind of neat, and then I realized like it's completely worthless literally everywhere. Like,
it's always been. I mean, I feel like it was added as like a meme item.
Yeah. Like apparently it's useful in like low level pure shit, but I'm not a low level pure. I don't care.
I don't know.
Bounty Hunter got a bunch of things that I'm not going to really talk about because I don't really care.
Yeah, there's some big changes. They're adding an earnings potential thing.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it's an extra system that
get more money.
Does stuff. I read it at one point and I've already forgotten all of it because it has no relevance to me.
Yeah.
They tweaked some of the esoteric emblems. They buffed the ancient warrior gear. Notably, Zuriel's has magic strength now.
It was pretty bad before.
Yeah, it was awful. So, now it could be good. We'll see. Yeah. Best's Spear got changed.
Yeah, I thought this change was already in, but maybe I was thinking of something else they did to it. I don't know. There's some other stuff, though. Game Jam changes that are now in the game already.
You're just going to skip over Pride like that, bro? It's Pride Month.
Didn't we talk about the Pride event already?
I don't know.
We got a Pride event.
I just like to shout out, you can see Spine Wielder in that screenshot.
Okay, I saw him at the GE the other day.
He's the guy with the quest cup. You can see him in his classic Spine Wielder attire.
What side? I'm trying to find him.
Right side.
Oh,
right
I see him in like the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I saw him at the GE
that's Spine
the other
Wielder.
day.
Ain't nobody else wearing that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get a rainbow jumper. Cool.
Yeah. Anyways.
There's random music mode now. If you want to randomly play music, you can. That's super cool.
Cool. Here's my thing, all right?
Mm-hmm.
This is another thing that I wish that they would do that would probably require way too much effort. Where's my real music looping mode? Every single piece of music in this fucking game is clearly designed with the idea in mind that it would be able to cleanly loop instead of ending and then just starting over from the beginning.
Yeah.
But that system is not in the game, and it never has been. I understand that it's probably a lot of work to set up the timings for every single song to make sure they loop perfectly.
Yeah.
But it has bothered me to no end forever that that's not a real feature, and yet the soundtrack is still always designed for it.
Yeah, all the raid songs sound like they should loop, but then, like, you're doing a really long warden fight, and suddenly
you're like P4 wardens for 10 years and nobody's hitting, and the music just ends.
Yeah, it's like...
And then it starts again from the beginning.
No, it just stops. It just doesn't restart. It's really...
Do you not have loop on?
That's probably why.
Yeah.
How do you turn on loop?
Right at the top.
Random, manual,
it's not even there anymore. Never mind.
Yeah.
It used to be there. It used to be area manual loop. Now it's area manual random. Further proving that the loop feature was just useless.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope they make more changes in the future to this.
What they did when they did the survey that I talked about last episode about the Game Jam stuff, they mentioned the random music mode, and I wrote like a paragraph about how I want them to add loop mode, and I know it's going to take a lot of effort for them to go through every song and make it loop properly, but please just fucking do it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get that done, you've finished that work. Now you just need to do it every time a new piece of music is added to the game, and
that's not super often, you know?
No, it's not very often. And it's not a lot of work. The only reason it's a lot of work is because there's like hundreds of game tracks in the game.
It's just a lot of upfront work, but once that's done, you're golden.
Yeah, as long as you have a system in place that can, actually loop music, and you can just plug in numbers to make sure it loops correctly, you're golden. So I just wish that was a thing. I'm sure there's probably more work than I understand, but it feels like it shouldn't be that much work. It's just a fair bit of upfront work. I just wish.
The world switcher.
To make space, we've moved the loop button from the music tab to the settings menu. So it's still there.
Okay.
But
well, I'm going to do that right now.
Once again, I feel like it's just proving that it's a worthless feature because they've hidden it away.
Yeah, okay. There we go. Now it's set to loop. Now it won't get weirdly quiet at Toa.
It will still get weirdly quiet for like 10 seconds because the loop feature also sucks.
Cool.
And sometimes it also still just won't fucking work.
Nice.
I've noticed. I remember distinctly. A lot of the time, you'll be standing at the GE and the music will be playing, and it'll randomly just fucking stop, and then like some random interval of time later, it'll start up again.
Hell yeah! Probably some check that needs to happen, and it's just bad.
Listen, man, I love the music in this game. The old music's great. The newer music is different, but also great. I think they've done a pretty good job with the newer music of kind of keeping it feeling somewhat old school, but bringing like a newer, more modern take to it. I really like the new music, and I just wish I could appreciate it more and in better ways. So, anyways,
the
world switcher filters.
Yeah,
this is cool.
Yeah, they now there's a little cog in the top left. You click it, it opens this big ass menu. I thought it was gonna like open up on like your right side, like where in your inventory thing. Like
it's a whole ass menu.
It's a whole ass menu. You can filter by membership, by location, by game modes. You can search, which is cool. So like,
yeah, very very nice.
If my buddies are like, "Oh, I'm on fucking the high risk world," you can type in high risk, and it will condense it down just to the 4 high risk worlds.
It's easier to find specific world types. So like if, for the example they use, if you're looking for the Wintertodt worlds, you don't have to sort by world type and then, go through alphabetical order to find W.
Yeah, this is a W. Also, it's kind of nice if you just click that cog, all the worlds that appear, you can click on those and hop to the world. So you just have a way bigger world hop menu.
Yeah, you just have a bigger world hopper. Though, to be fair, we already have a bigger world hopper in RuneLite.
I never use that. I'm going to be honest.
I sort it by ping and use it.
Okay, fair. But one thing you can do to find lower ping worlds a little easier if you're in the US is now the symbols.
U.S. West and East worlds are actually different now.
Now it's U.S. Bloods and U.S. Crips.
Crip gang.
Yeah, I think the icon looks a little silly, but like
it does look a little odd.
It's trying to think of a
make the
better...
U.S. West worlds a Cascadia flag, and make the U.S. East worlds, I don't know, a picture of the White House.
That's not a good solution. I think this is the best thing they could have done.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm
like,
just being a shitter.
For Europe, you have different countries you can pick. For the U.S., it's just a one big ass country.
All right, hear me out.
Like,
all right, hear me out.
Uh-huh.
So we have 48 continental U.S. states, right?
Okay.
Split them down the middle, all right?
Okay.
24, and you make a collage of 24 of the flags, and it goes there.
That looks so bad.
It's like 3 pixels per flag.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to click on left blue blob and right blue blob, because half the flags in the fucking US are just a fucking seal on a blue bedsheet.
Hey, yo, at least our seal's on a green bedsheet.
True. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a better option they could have made for this.
No, this is fine.
Like, this is fine. It does what it needs to do, you know.
Those bastard fucking Brits are condensing the US flag, though. Classic.
Yeah. The Grand Exchange got
suppressing our freedoms.
America! The Grand Exchange got slightly better.
Yeah, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, people have been bitching about this for a long time. In RS3, if you buy things, it just takes money from your bank. Now, it does the same in old school. Although, I am curious. I'm going to test this actually right now. There is a button that most people don't know about on the Grand Exchange. The little 3 dots.
That switches between the exchange interface and the bank interface?
No. You click the 3 little dots, and you can set it to buy the maximum amount that you can currently afford. So I'm going to grab out 1 million GP right now.
I imagine that'll probably still use GP in your inventory.
I'm going to teleport to Varrock. What am I going to buy with 1 mil?
Stamina potions.
Stamina potions, cool. Actually, I think I need a potion. I need what are these called? Why can I never remember names for things? Sandpies.
What color are they? What do they do? Oh, sandpies.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to buy 1 million worth of sandpies. If I right-click it and hit all, okay, it still only takes the most you can afford from your inventory, which is good.
That's probably good. Yeah. Probably should stay that way.
Yeah, but if I increase it to more than I have in my inventory, so I'm buying 1,041,000 worth. Yep, cool. It just takes it straight from my bank. Lovely.
Cool.
Good change.
I'll be certain never to interact with this change.
Yeah.
I probably will eventually, but
it's nice for us mains, okay? Something you might interact with because you have your main that you don't play on. You can now sell
this is kind of cool, actually.
members items as a free-to-play. So, no more, like, scrounging together, like, random garbage free-to-play items trying to get a bond, or, like, begging your friends for a bond.
Does this also mean that you can trade members items as a free-to-play?
Yeah, that's been a thing, I think, for a bit now.
Okay. Cool.
I don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
That means I need to check that, because there's a bunch of stuff on my main that I could theoretically loan out, because I have like a BGS, SGS, all the Zenites.
If you want to loan me some stuff, I want to say no.
Warhammer, all that. So
yeah. Mobile got improved a bit.
No, it didn't.
No.
I was looking actually. I was looking at when Warhammer crashed, and it was back in August, which is when TOA released. And the way I checked that was I went to the news archive and checked August, and I was like, oh, yep, that was when TOA released. That's why Dragon Warhammer crashed. And in the news archive in August was the original announcement for this rework.
Oh.
It has almost been a year since they announced this rework of the mobile UI.
Oh. Okay, wait, so they just haven't done it yet. I'm reading the section now, because I just skimmed it last time. They want to do a beta for a rework that they still haven't done. Cool.
that they haven't done for almost a year.
Yeah. Other changes, there's some things in here that are nice. The bank at Next, the dude that walks around, doesn't fucking move anymore.
Somebody cast a fucking freeze on him.
Thank God. Venenatis and Spindle drop strange fruits at a 1 in 5.
Kind of a weird change, but I'm all for it, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I mean, you run around a lot at the boss unless you're, like, doing specific strats to prevent it from doing so. So that's nice. You don't need as many staminas, I guess. This one's actually really nice. You don't need to equip a slash weapon anymore to slash webs. As long as it's in your inventory, it'll use it from there. Thank God. I hated having to equip my frickin' slash weapon whenever I was doing Saracnus or in the wilderness. Like, thank God.
Cool.
Also, there's a new hidden mini quest. I don't know if you've done this yet, Bird. Have you?
Oh, is that the strange old man thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering what that was.
So, I'm not going to spoil it. Just go talk to the strange old man. He has a little mini quest for you to do.
Oh yeah, his faithful servants.
Yeah.
It's a real mini quest.
Oh, does it actually show in the log?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the His Faithful Servants mini quest.
Nice. I still haven't done Hawk.
I can start this mini quest by talking to the strange old man at Barrows, east of Morton.
Yeah. It was apparently bugged this morning, and you used to be able to, like, supposedly get duplicates of the reward, but that's probably fixed now. I can figure out how to do it, so...
Neat.
Yeah. Cool little mini quest. It's working up towards the Desert Treasure 2 stuff. Probably.
I mean, it says it's part of the Majorat storyline, so definitely.
Oh, does it in the quest log?
Yeah, in the quest log.
Neat. Croc Clue stuff. They still haven't figured it out. How? It's been like a year.
Is a madman.
Come on, guys.
You just can't get into Wooks' head. He's just too powerful.
Anyways, is there anything else you want to talk about before we die?
Yeah, I mean, I just... Listen. To kind of clarify my thoughts on ruinous powers and the rest of the changes, if all this came into the game as it is currently proposed, the new proposal, I'd be fine with it. I just can't help but be a little disappointed by the way that they're changing some of the things from the first proposal. I think it's fine, if not a little more boring than it used to be.
I don't know. You say it was more interesting before, and I don't necessarily disagree, but I also don't think, like, you really had a choice before either. Like, now, you still don't really have a choice. I think it's still better than the regular prayer book in 95% of situations. But now it still is pretty boring, but I think some of them are better and a little more interesting. Some of them definitely did get, like, an interest decrease. I like the direction for most of the vows. I do think the poison one isn't very interesting, and the mage decrease could be different. Or really, I think it's just I like what they did to the blood one, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Kuro's vow, I mean, let's be honest. Like I said the first time, I think we were talking about this. In the survey, they asked if they should add a weaker version of Soul Split to this.
No.
And that's what it was. That's what Kuro's vow was.
Yeah.
It was just a really terrible version of Soul Split. Like, really terrible. So, this at least is interesting, I can agree.
Yeah. It'll get some use.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely see use. Glacie's vow is, in my opinion, even more boring than the first one. Because now it's just Umbra's vow, except mage.
Yeah, it will get some use now, instead of literally no use, but, like, I don't know, I don't really care. It could do literally anything else. Please.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand that it's difficult to come up with these ideas, too.
Yeah.
I respect that. because I don't have any great ideas. But I also haven't spent time to think of these ideas. And I also don't get paid to think of these ideas. So, take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. I'm sure, like, they could probably do a round of, like, community polling just to, like, figure out, like, some ideas, like how they did with, there was a recent thing where they asked for, just the prayers in general, actually. They were like, hey, give us some ideas for the ruinous powers, and
the Soul Reaper axe is literally not their idea at all.
Yeah, that was a different axe. So, like, they could just go to the Reddit again and be like, hey, we've struggled to come up with an idea. Think of something, like, ice-related, that can, fit in here. That could be interesting, That's not necessarily, you wouldn't maybe use it everywhere, but, like, it's a interesting option that you could use. And I'm sure people could come up with some great ideas. Because, like, while, the average Redditor is not a developer, they have opinions that I don't agree with.
I think quite often getting ideas from people that are not developers is often better.
Yeah.
Because as a developer, I frequently think of ideas in terms of this is something I can actually achieve with my current skill set. Whereas people that are not developers think of ideas that just are cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to kind of challenge myself to be like, okay, that is a really cool idea. How can I implement this in a way that actually keeps it to what they thought up? Because I think as a developer, I quite often get stuck in, well, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
When realistically, if I spend some time, I probably can.
Yeah, and
so I don't know.
And also, like, there was a YouTube video I watched not too long ago that was like, hey, I am a gamer, and I just, like, take games for granted and, like, how you play them. And so, like, I just made my wife play, like, a bunch of video games, and here's how she did. And it really shows...
I don't remember the YouTube channel's name, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. It was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that video. That series of videos, I think.
Yeah, you get a different insight from, like, the average player than you would from, like, someone that's a game dev. And, like, also, there's the fact that, like, when the game gives us the content, within the first week, people find fucking butterflying and red Xing at Baba, while it's maybe not something the developers would find, because the players have a unique insight that the developers don't have. And there's just a billion of us all playing.
To be fair, that's why they do betas. Yeah. But they have the problem of, well, not very many people play the betas.
Mm-hmm.
And so very often, these problems or emergent pieces of gameplay don't arise until it fully releases into the game.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it, I think, last week or maybe the week before. Betas notoriously have terrible adoption rate for most games.
Yeah.
People want to see progress on the main game, so...
Yeah. And a lot of people, especially where RuneScape is concerned, they don't want to spend their time testing out your thing when they don't get anything in return. Mm-hmm. They don't get to progress their account. They don't get any items. They get nothing.
Yeah.
As we've seen and talked about time and time again in the past, RuneScape players are very, very reward driven. And I don't think they should add any kind of reward to the beta.
So
don't get me construed here.
Let me throw this one at you real quick. I think it was on XP Waste. Oxy suggested that they should add RS3 style titles to the game. Maybe.
I disagree.
Really, I don't know. I think I'd be fine with that.
Here's my problem with RS3 titles.
Mm-hmm.
Great place to add FOMO.
Okay, true. You have to be careful with that.
You have to be so careful with that, because if we start letting a little bit of FOMO into this game, the player base is going to disappear, myself included.
I think it has to all be stuff that you can actively, continuously work towards. And I think one of them could be, a title for beta testing, right? They'd have to commit to continuously doing beta tests, in the future. But you could earn some title if you contribute enough. Or if you do, a beta
I worry
test.
about that one to some degree being FOMO, though. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, I haven't been around for this many beta tests, so I just can't have that title.
I don't know.
It's more of the like player loyalty thing, and I don't know. They did the survey for the hey, we are thinking about just make it so you can see how many years your account has existed, and I was like, no, don't add that. I don't think account loyalty matters. I don't think anyone in old school cares. In fact, I think a lot of old school players actively don't care and don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not a big fan of the loyalty type stuff, and I worry that something like that would become loyalty type.
It's definitely a slippery slope that you'd have to worry about.
Yeah, it would be very rough.
It's like,
as a Destiny 2 player, right? I've been playing Destiny 2 since vanilla. I have hard grinded that game. I have so many FOMO type things in that game, and I often take that for granted because I will see newer players that are like, oh, hey, let's do this thing or this or that or whatever, and I just can immediately like gear up for this, or I have like cool cosmetics or whatever, and these are just things that they can't get.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Even if it's literally just cosmetic, even if it's literally just a player title, it sucks. And in a perfect world, we shouldn't have any of that. Like, I'm sorry. It just sucks to not be able to get things. And right now, I think RuneScape is or old school RuneScape specifically, is in an awesome spot where there really isn't any FOMO. And I love that. It is a beautiful, refreshing piece of this game that I can't find basically anywhere fucking else.
I mean, even fucking Minecraft has FOMO.
Yeah. Like, it's everywhere. Yeah. Because it's extraordinarily effective marketing. But it's toxic marketing.
I hate it.
And I don't agree with it.
As long as, like, they commit to doing titles for just things that you can still actively do in-game, I'd be fine with it. But...
And even if it's things we can still actively do in-game, we need to be careful about, oh, my account hasn't existed for as long as yours, so my title can't be as cool as yours.
Yeah. I don't know. I think...
Like, Leagues does it right? Leagues has cool rewards that, as long as they keep adding leagues, barring last year, it's kind of annoying.
Speaking of...
But as long as they keep adding leagues, you can just keep getting every League's reward that has ever existed.
Yeah. They do the same thing with, like, the holiday events, right? If you miss out on a holiday event, you just do the next one and you get all the previous ones.
You get it. Sure, you missed out on the little tiny holiday event. You'll never be able to do that specific holiday event. But usually they're tiny and inconsequential.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're missing out on a huge chunk of insane content.
Yeah. One last thing before we go. They did announce Deadman is coming back. They did it in a tweet that just said the word Deadman, nothing else, just Deadman.
That is such, like, I hate to use this term, but that's absolutely Zoomer marketing.
Oh, absolutely. But, the community was, absolutely buzzing this week in response to that.
I might play Deadman just to, like,
swap gold,
be a skiller and just not involve myself with the PKing because I'm terrible, and just, like, sell stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Just make profit.
Swap gold.
Yeah. Yeah, swap gold.
Yeah.
Just to kind of engage with the system and, like, kind of fuck around. And if I don't find it fun, I just leave. But best case scenario, I swap some gold and make some money on the main or something.
Yeah, no. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what I'm up to when it actually happens.
Watching. Like, I'm excited for that. I think the YouTube and the Twitch stuff pops the fuck off when Deadman comes out.
Yep. And that's why they have an incentive to keep doing it, right? Is because it does pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it puts
as far
Twitch
as
at the
viewership goes.
Yeah, it puts the Twitch stream, like, the category at the top of Twitch. Like, it gets a lot of attention.
Yeah. I will always be more excited for Leagues. Leagues has always been a huge thing for me, but
I can't say the
same. The last Deadman mode kind of incorporated a bit of, like, the leaguiness into it, where it's, like, fundamentally different from the main game. There's, like, some weird things you can do. So I don't know. Maybe I play Deadman just to kind of scratch that itch since I haven't been able to in like 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to hopefully within the next some amount of months hear what they're cooking up for the next league.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll announce it during the summer.
Yeah, whatever their next summit is. I imagine
summer summit.
They'll at least say something. I imagine. I'm very excited.
Yeah, someone pointed out recently that basically everything they've announced for the winter summit is coming out very shortly. The only thing that isn't going to be coming out is the long-term project of sailing.
And then also the account builds thing, because everybody hated it.
I mean, we just, axed that. That's not coming at all. But, we're getting Desert Treasure 2 soon. We're getting the
Forestry very soon. We got Bounty Hunter. We got Secrets of the North.
Yeah, Secrets of the North too.
Like immediately after that summit was announced.
Yeah, so that's basically everything they announced. So we'll probably get the summer summit soon.
Probably within like next month or two, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm. But I think that
that episode of the podcast will probably pop off. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we'll have so much to talk about. Yeah, we'll go. Great. If that doesn't end up being a 3-hour episode, I'm gonna be surprised.
True.
But I think that's it. Bye.
Yeah, that's probably it. Bye-bye.